Hi everyone. The other day I received a box in the mail. And this is one of those portable power packs. So we're going to open it up and have a look at it. For those of you that know me, I give honest reviews. So if this is good, I'll say it's good. If it's bad, I will definitely tell you it's bad. The company that sent it to me, I don't care what they say. I'm doing an honest review. If they don't like it, they don't want to send me any more products, then so be it. But it's going to be an honest review. Recording?
Yep.
The reason I'm doing this video right now is because I need to pilot drill some holes on the chicken coop, and my wife is away and she has the drill, or the cordless drill. So I need to use my regular corded drill. Okay. Well, there's a user manual. Looks fairly significant. Looks to be very well packed. Let's see what this is. All right, we have a 12-volt cigarette lighter adapter. We've got the AC adapter, or AC power cord rather, and that I'm assuming is just for charging it. I'm hoping this has enough charge on it that I can go ahead and use my drill right away. Okay, and this is a... Oh, okay. So this is the actual charging adapter. So that AC power cord is for this. All right. Yes. Okay. I like the packaging. It's well done. Other companies take note. No squeaky styrofoam. That stuff is horrible. Don't use it. So we have a section for USB. We've got two USB-C plugs. We've got two USB 3.0 according to this. This is the charging adapter inlet. And a couple of AC outlets. Some DC outlets, and there's the cigarette lighter adapter. So that's pretty much all you would need. It's very light. Now this is a 300 watt unit, so it's not really powerful. All right, so let's turn it on. Maybe we have to press and hold. There we go. %87 battery. So that means I can use it right away. So for each thing that we have here, you have to press the button to turn on the USB. You have to press the button to turn on the AC and also the DC. All right, well, I'm gonna go get my drill and we're gonna give this thing a try. I missed this. It's got a light on the side. 3 different levels. Flashing a little faster, and off. So that's pretty handy. All right. So plug this in. Turn this on. Well, what do you know? It works. Okay. Now, this way? Yeah, that way would be better. Uh-oh, really? Okay. 4 amps. At 120 volts. In the box, we got the main unit. We got an AC adapter. This is the charging adapter. And that you plug into your AC outlet, and then you plug this in, and that charges the battery. We got a cigarette lighter adapter. I believe this is intended to plug into the charging port, and then you plug this into your vehicle, and that's how you charge it from your vehicle. The other thing that we received was a very nice instruction manual. This is a multi-language manual. I believe each language is 12 pages. At least the English one is 12 pages. And it's actually very well done. There's a few grammatical errors and odd wordings and a few typos, but generally speaking, the manual is pretty good. Gives you all the specifications. Shows you the layout, the LCD display, and all of its functions. Different ways to charge it. And some other stuff about usage, what you can use it for, and so on. So the manual is pretty good. I'm happy to see that Vevor has started doing better with their manuals. So we're going to power it on. There we go. Press and hold. We have a little bit of flicker there from that's caused by the camera. The flickering you're seeing is caused by the camera. It's not really doing that. Battery charge indicator is at 100%. It's because I charged it. 99 hours of runtime. So what I want to do here is I want to connect different loads, and I want to check the output on the oscilloscope. I want to see what kind of an output this is really giving. Is it a true sine wave, or is it really choppy, or how does it look? So I think we're going to start with the AC outlet. Now what I have here is I have my dim bulb tester. And what this does is this is used for essentially testing old equipment. And this puts light bulbs in series with the load. So whatever it is you're going to test, you put the light bulbs in series, and then if the unit under test has a problem, the light bulb will get brighter. Safely check it that way without blowing anything up. So what I'm going to do to put a load on this is I'm going to do a short circuit here. So I want to take my, what I call my my suicide plug. I'm going to put this in here. And yes, that's an actual term used from back in the day. All right, so essentially I've shorted the AC output. Now what that's going to do for me is it's just going to allow me to turn these light bulbs on. Power on. Now to turn on the individual items here, so we have our USB section, we have our AC section, and we have our DC section. So to turn on each individual section, you have to press the button. All right, now we've got an indicator that says the AC is on. So the first bulb I'm going to turn on is a 25 watt bulb. Well, I think it's 25. It's not marked. And there we go, 25 watts. And it says 36 watts. Well, it might be a 36 watt bulb, I don't know. Let's turn that one off. This bulb is a 60 watt bulb, so we'll turn this one on. And it takes a second or two for this to react. It has to calculate. And that's saying 50 watts. Okay, that's fairly close, I guess. And this bulb is 100 watts. Make sure you can see that. Okay, it says 92, so that's pretty close. That should be 160. Fairly close. That should be about 180, 185. But that's pretty close. Okay. That may or may not be accurate based on the bulbs, because who knows about these bulbs. They're incandescent, so it could be anything. Okay. Turn these off. They're very bright. You also notice the number of hours available to run at that wattage went from, I think it was at 99, yeah, there it is, down to 2. Now what I've done is I've got my dim bulb tester attached. I've got the suicide cord plugged in, and I've connected my oscilloscope. I've put some electrical tape over the scope probe so I don't blow myself up or damage anything. And we've got it connected to the oscilloscope. Let's see, I've got a little bit of glare going on here. Oh, that didn't help much. Okay. I just have to change the angle. There we go. Okay. So what you're seeing here is apparently some noise just coming through from the unit. Now, the AC is on. If we turn this off, okay, now the AC is off. We still have a little bit of noise. Actually, that's a fairly significant amount of noise. So I'm guessing that's being picked up by that's the oscillator inside the battery pack. So now we're going to turn the AC back on. And now we've got a little bit of noise. Now keep in mind, only one side is connected. Now I'm going to turn on one of these light bulbs, which the bulb isn't actually going to come on because of the way this is designed. There's no load from the oscilloscope, so none of these bulbs are going to light up. Okay. Turn my voltage down, and there we go. A nice sine wave. That's actually very nice. And if you look right here, we have a frequency of 59.52 hertz. So that's pretty close to 60 hertz. Okay, so let's check our voltage. Volts RMS. So volts RMS is what you measure when you're measuring actual AC line voltage. Now, what this says here is 11.15. My oscilloscope probe is on ×10 because this is high voltage. So that would be 111.7 volts. All right, if we look at the specification sheet, the AC output voltage is 110 volts plus or minus 10%. So reading 111.9 is well within the specifications. And the 60 hertz plus or minus 5%, again, that is within spec. So as far as the AC output goes, that's pretty nice. Now I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to try to put an actual load on this and see what happens. Now what I'm going to do is I'm plugging in my soldering exhaust fan. So that's just plugged into the second outlet. And now we're going to look at the sine wave and we'll see if there's any difference when I turn this on. And no difference at all that I can detect. Now here we're showing, sorry, I'm fighting the glare. So now it's saying that the fan is drawing 18 watts and I have 14 hours of runtime. Okay. So that's pretty convincing as far as the sine wave output, the AC output of this unit looks pretty good. So now we're going to turn the AC off. And everything shuts down. Okay, that's it for the AC. Moving on to the USB. Now what I've done is I've connected my oscilloscope probe through an old USB cable into one of the USB ports. And then to put a load on it, I took another cable and I'm powering my microscope with this. Very, very low power. It's 4 watts according to this. Now we're going to look at the scope. So right here, I'm sorry about the flicker. Alright, so we are on the 2 volt per division, so it's 2, 4, almost 5. I mean, yeah, just a little over 5 according to this. Now I'm going to put my multimeter on this and check it, but before I do that, we're going to switch this to AC. And now we are going to reduce the volts per division all the way down, as low as it's going to go. We put the scope probe on ×1, and there I don't even think I can get that to trigger. Barely get that to trigger. So very, very little noise. That's as low voltage as I can get. It's microvolts. So that's pretty good. I think we can call that a success. Now let me get my multimeter set up here. Okay, I've connected to my benchtop meter. And there's the DC output of the USB ports, 5.138 volts. So that's really good. If we look at the specifications, let's see what it says here. USB output. And it just, I'm assuming that just means 5 volts, 3 amps, which is, that's the USB spec. So it's good. It's right where it needs to be. It's got a small load on it. I don't think that'll, if I unplug my microscope, I don't know if it'll make any difference. No, not really. Okay. So the USB output looks great. Now we'll go to the 12 volt DC output. The next thing I'm doing is connecting to the cigarette lighter adapter. Now I have the oscilloscope attached and the multimeter attached. According to the spec sheet, we should have between 12.8 and 16.5 volts. And that's a 10 amp output, which is pretty good. Alright, so the multimeter shows 16 volts. The oscilloscope is showing 16 volts. We'll put this on AC. And then we'll turn this way down. And again, almost no noise or ripple, and that's at the very lowest voltage setting. And it even shows you right here 12.8 to 16.5 volts, 10 amps total. And these are round power jacks down here, and these are center pin positive. Same for the 12 volt charging port is also center pin positive. I figured out that I can put a load on this. So what I've done was I've connected to my electronic load. We're showing 16 volts, the same as the multimeter was showing. And now we are going to turn the load on. Better turn that down. Okay. Now the leads that I'm using are just multimeter leads, so I can't put too much of a load on it. But we'll give it an amp. The voltage is staying the same at 1 amp. There's 16 watts. So now let's try bringing it up to 2 amps. And now you see our voltage is starting to drop a little bit. Just making sure my leads aren't getting warm. Alright, 3 amps. Let's go up to 5 amps. Now our voltage is looking more like it should. If there was an actual load on this. And now we can see our wattage is at 82. And the run hours is now down to 4. Checking, making sure nothing is getting warm. Okay, so probably not going to go too much higher amperage. We'll take it to 7 amps. Voltage is holding pretty good. Okay, so we're going to put this at right around 9 amps. 9 amps. So at 9 amps, the voltage has dropped down, which is to be expected. As long as it's over 12.7 volts, you're good to go. Obviously, your runtime is significantly reduced at that. 144 watts is what it's using. So let's see, if we went and did a calculation, so 13.94 times 9 should give me the wattage, which comes out to 125.4, and this is reading 144. So it's, the watt meter is close. It's not perfect. Another feature I didn't mention, the light on the side has 3 different levels. And it flashes SOS. And then it has a strobe. And then off. This is an overall very good unit. It has a decent operator manual. The DC circuits have virtually no discernible ripple. In other words, the DC is very clean, and that's important in anything that uses an inverter like this does for the AC. The DC doesn't pick up on that. The AC is a true sine wave, very clean, 110 volts. The 110 volts is a little bit on the low side for the United States, but it's actually just fine. It's quiet. The fan will make a little bit of noise if it warms up, but generally speaking, it emits no noise while you're using it. It's rated at 20 amp hours. You can charge it while you're using it. It's very light. This is 7 pounds. It has a temperature warning indicator. So if you have a heavy load on it and it starts to overheat, you'll get a warning. If the load is too much, it will shut down, which you saw when I tried to hook up my power drill to it, which it did not like at all. It shut down. I could run the drill with not putting any pressure on it, but as soon as I tried to drill something, the load on the drill went up and it started using more current, and this unit couldn't take it, so it shut down. And that's good, because that prevents any damage to the unit. It will accept solar panels for charging, 24 volt panels. It is made in China. It's not weatherproof. The LCD is very hard to see in the daylight, but generally speaking, in indoor setting, it's perfectly fine. It's very clear and easy to read. Will it jumpstart your car? Absolutely not. Will it operate your wife or girlfriend's curling iron? Yes, because we tested that, and that works. If you're going to buy one, figure out what you're going to use it for before you buy it. Make sure you understand the power requirements of whatever you're planning to plug into it. Make sure it's under the 300 watt capacity. Okay, so that's it. If you enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up and have a great day. Thank you for watching.